Alright, hello everyone, so let's start Monday. Now I've already posted the swing days and the hours. So the here is the video. Let's start with the gold as usual. Now here we've got gold. Now gold, as you can see, still pushing down, which is what we're expecting. Remember, we're expecting the market to come to the lower the channels, but also that can break, because as you can see, that breakout has got targets down here. Now this should come to at least 3782 here, which is 2303. Okay, so 2303 is a target, which is what we're looking at. Now this place is tricky, so no selling here. The Astro hours for today are going to be 8:25, so 8:25, so let's say 8:30 here. You can see the hours on the members area. 9:45, we've got 9:45 here. Also 9:30 is going to be important for us, so this zone, plus we've got 12 o'clock, 12:05 to be precise, 12, then we've got 2:20, 3:25. That's your 220 is going to be here. 3:25 is going to be here. So this New York pre-trading session. We've got news all week, so you've got to be careful this week. Okay, then we've got 4:40, and we've got 6:15, and then we've got 11:50. I also got a target of 11:50, and that's just there. Let's do that. 23:50. Now then, so be careful for news. Now when the news comes out, right, we've got hours before the news, so you can do your setup before the news. If you want to trade the news, you know, if you want, you can. I don't. Okay, so what we want to do is make sure you kind of like enter maybe after the news. Now there's news coming out at 4:45, and we got this 4:36 zone, 4:40 zone. Okay, it's happening. So if it goes up, it'll at least get to 6:15. That's for sure. Okay, because we've got a 6:15 zone. If it goes down, it'll go to 6:15 on the downside. So we have to kind of like be careful with that. Now the reason you don't want to be getting into a trade here, first of all, is also on the daily. It's right on the previous day. Okay, the low of the previous day. So what we want to do, let's see on the weekly. We can still push down on the weekly. I don't think there's a bit of a drama there. This is the first spot, so we still have a bit of zone, and then we've got that HCL1 2290. Okay, so there's still room to come down into that 2300, 2290. Okay, if the market goes up into an Astro hour, like the weekly, daily pivot, this is okay to sell, in my opinion. We can like kind of push down. This is a good, as you can see, peak formation kind of thing. Boom, boom, coming back into the market and then selling off. So any retracement is okay. That's an impulse wave. Market going sideways is also good, or slightly higher, good to sell off. Euro dollar. Let's take a look at the weekly. Now, remember last week we sold that on the weekly PST level. Now we're here again. We've got that 55, 1.0878. So if 1.0880, okay, 1.0880, if we break above the high of last week, again, this is looking like it could go up. If it breaks up, don't stand in front of it. Okay, if they sell again, okay, we could still push down, but this is looking bullish. As you can see, I drew these lines here last week and it bounced off that one, and that is looking bullish. So that bullishness is due to this breakout here, which is fine. Okay, this was a sell zone, so this is why we sold over there, and we said we need to be careful here. Why? Because that's the breakout and the good buy kiss zone here, as you can see. So the market makes an impulse wave, so we're at an A, B, C down, and then the market pushing up. So if you want to buy this, it's okay. If at the Astro hours, like I said, you've got to be careful for the news. If at the Astro hours, you're like at the weekly pivot, or even lower down here somewhere at the low of last Friday, okay? So, but this zone is looking okay because this is where the breakout happened. So this is going to be a zone. Yeah, this will pretty much, I think this will be the zone. So the weekly pivot and maybe slightly under it, okay? Now on the daily, the price down here is too far down, but that can be a target, and that's a 65, and that's a 1.0898. So 1.0898 can be a target, and if it breaks up, okay, that's where it is. Now if it breaks up and then comes down quickly, okay, just be mindful that can continue to sell, okay? So, but if we're down here at Astro hours and you want to kind of like take it upwards, I think it's okay. You got enough room to cover the trade here as well. SP 500, let's take a look at the weekly. Remember, it's a new month as well this month, okay? So it's still bullish, as you can see, pretty much. A target up there on the monthly is that 70, which is 5,495. So 5,495 is going to be on the monthly. It's still out there, so I'm not going to mark it in just yet. On the weekly, we've got a breakout, so that's good because that's going to give us a sign we can kind of keep pushing up, okay? And that's your good buy kiss at 67. So 5,290 on the weekly is good, okay? It's a bit it's above that, is it 56? Yeah, 58, 57, and that's 58, 65. So this has got to be off room to break out as well, okay? As you can see, market impulse wave, ABC down. It's not as low as we'd like, okay? It's not as low as we'd like, but that's 50%, it's okay. I prefer the 37.5 on the GAN, but 50 is also okay, I guess. So what can we do with this? If during the intraday, you know, we pull back a little bit, anywhere like come back into this weekly pivot zone, daily pivot zone, I think we can also go up, okay? If it doesn't, if we're around here and the market keeps pushing up, that's the way to go, okay? Because the direction, as you can see, is kind of like upwards on this one. Wait a minute, this is the Mexican peso, not that one, okay? So going up is looking like a better option to do, okay? So if any pullbacks happen at the Astro hours, let me get rid of this as well, then I think it's okay. Where to, daily pivot is good, weekly pivot is good, or the low of Friday is also okay, okay, if you want to buy. If the market sticks around here, it's a bit tricky. Why? Because there's a gap here, all right? So the market might want to just boom, come down and then go up. So you might wait for the news. Maybe in the news it will come down and then go up, okay? So remember those 2 hours for today that I told you, right? The 440 and the 615. Once we find direction, it'll take us to a target, which is at 1150. Let's take a look at Dow Jones. Okay, rightio then. Now, okay, so here we've got Dow Jones, new month. Okay, market's still bearish, bullish, sorry, not bearish, bullish, as you can see. And we're right on a monthly PST level. That 59.89 is looking at 38,411. If we do get there, 38,411, it's going to be good. Okay, so that's just slightly under 411, that's just there. So this zone is like really good. We can get in if the market comes into this zone. That's a monthly PST. On the weekly, what you've got to look out for is this zone here. Okay, so remember, this is what you got to look out for. Actually, this has done the targets on the weekly. There's still a bit of room to come down. Remember, your first resistance is going to be 58. So 39,186. 39,186 is your first target, which is there, which is enough to sweep stops, I guess, from the high of last week. Okay, and that's how it is. So this is a good impulse wave. Any pullback, we can follow it through. Remember the swing days. Okay, for SB 500, it's SB 500 needs special care. Dow Jones is Tuesday and Friday, so if we sell off first, that's good to buy. If it keeps pushing up into Tuesday, we're going to look for a sell-off later on, which should be a retracement, because the market can kind of like push up and then sell off again. This is a good impulse wave. Okay, so going up to sell off on the daily, look at that, 50, which is a target of 38,978. So we've got 38. 9. That can't be right. $50, 38,978. Just a second. 38,978 is pretty close. Okay, so we're around here as well. So we've got targets here, 978, and that level there. Okay, this was a target from last week. As you can see, that was done, no problemo. And now we're in there. And then as a price, we've got 39,250, which is okay to sell as well. So 39,250 is going to be right there. This is also okay. The market can go up there and sell as well. So be careful if it's a swing day, and if we're up here somewhere, selling is okay. We've got a gap to fill. That's your first sell zone. That broke that swing there. So the market can nicely come up into a retracement here. This will be your first target. Okay, so if it breaks above that, then let's do that. If it breaks above this, then obviously we've got more because of the gap there. If not, that's also a good target where the market can sell off. NASDAQ, let's take a look at NASDAQ. With NASDAQ, I guess we're going to have the same scenario. Now, it's a new month. It's pretty bullish, as you can see. So the market's still in that mode. Now, if last month it closed lower, it would have been a little better. But as you can see, this is where we're at. So it's still a bit tricky. Okay, the first zone on the monthly, the weekly is 66. 19,004 is going to be a level where the market can get to, and that'll be a sell level. 19,004 is just going to be around there. Okay, so this is a sell zone. Market's got room to go up. Okay, so if it comes down, if it's around here, if you want to push it up, I think you can do that. On the daily, we're at a resistance level, so just be mindful, but it should still push up. 67 is 18,973, and then just above that we've got 68, which is 19,015. So 18,973, 18,973 is just there. All right, so this is a zone where the market will probably target if we keep going up. So if you want to buy the daily or the closing price at Astro hours, it could just nicely push up into that zone. You got to, like I said, be mindful of the news. Okay, so this is pretty bullish. So this was a target zone as well, as you know, and then this was a target zone, as you know. So it's kind of like, okay, and that was a good buy kiss there. Filled in the gaps. There's still a bit of gap here, but this is like a good fill in, so the market can still push up a little bit into that zone. 18715 is also doable, okay, which is a bit close by here. So we have to be careful, okay, with the indices. At Astro hours, if we're down here somewhere, buying is also okay, because we're in this zone. We're coming out of this zone into a retracement, okay, so that's doable. And then we'll think about selling, so you have to be cautious as the market comes up. Sell reaction may come in and the market may sell off. Why? Because it sold off quickly, then it's gone back up. See how it filled in the gaps? So it could also come back and keep pushing down as well. So you have to be a bit careful. I recommend you focus on the swing days, which are going to be like Monday, Tuesday, okay? But for SP 500, you really need to be careful this week, because this week is a bit nutty. All right, we've got a few days on there, as you can see. It's a bit tricky with the SP 500. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin. With Bitcoin, the swing days for this Monday, Tuesday as well. If we are still up here, I think this is a sell zone for us. You can see the breakout on the daily. So these targets are legit. So 66, 62, these are legit targets. 71,041, 69,787, 70,229. So these three levels, 62, 64, 66, note those prices down because of that breakout. And if it breaks out above this 68, which is 68,753, you got room to go up. So this will be a nice opportunity. If it breaks upwards, it's good to go, because that's 68 and the high it did was 68.23, 68.28 here. So this is just under, but this is like a good, this is a good breakout opportunity. Okay, so this Monday, Tuesday will be a nice breakout to push up. If it goes in that direction, I'd use the opportunity. Okay, that's like a nice setup. All right, if you're trading Bitcoin.